All right, and we are live here in LumberJillville. I was going to do a pre-recorded video to go over the women's wrestling figures that were revealed today, or lack thereof, to be quite honest with you. It's been a little bit of a disappointing day as far as the reveals go for the women, but we did see some really, really cool things. So I figured, why not? Let's get started and go through some of them. So let's see here. Okay, so I got the chat here for the stream. Awesome. Welcome, Just Dance. I'll get started in just a second. What is up, Simply Nick? I wanted to do a live stream because, I was going to do a video. There wasn't a whole lot of women's figures showed off today, but there were some cool ones, and I wanted to see what y'all's opinions were on them. So I have a slideshow set up, like the nerd that I am. I have a PowerPoint slideshow set up. And I tried to not only show images of the women's figure, but also talk about what their attire is from or when the figure's coming out. So I did use all of my, let's see if I can do this right. Hey, look at that. That looks good. I did get all of the images from ringsidecollectibles.com. And if you do use that website, make sure to use coupon code LGV at checkout to save 10% on your next order of women's wrestling figures. So let's get rolling. We got decent amount of people that came in the first minute and a half, so let's show some images and let's talk about it. Jacob, Nick, Just Dance, it is so good to see y'all in here. I'm sure no one wants to see my stupid face, so let's do this. There we go. Little Mayor Aaron, little wee Aaron. That did not come out right. All right, so we got the WrestleMania figure reveals. Now, this is day one, mind you. They're supposed to have more reveals, and if I remember last year, if I remember correctly, I think last year I was super disappointed on day one. They show mostly the stuff that is almost out in our hands, right? They show things that are almost finished, almost done, and that's kind of what they flaunt on day one, right? On the show floor of, I guess, WWE World, I think it's called. They have a lot of these figures, the product that we're going to get in hand on the floor. So we are going to cover all the women's figures today. I might make a full video this weekend, if not tomorrow, covering every single figure revealed, but I wanted to spend some time on the women's figures for one reason and one main reason only. Okay. Here in LumberJillville, we are all about respecting and showing love to the women's wrestling figures and trying to get the respect level up and get the world to notice how awesome these women's wrestling figures are. And days like today, it's a kick in the gut because there were so many men's figures shown off, not a lot of women, right? But we did see some pretty cool things, and we're going to go over them. So I'm pretty excited. Let's get started. And yeah, Jacob says the Sandman Elite, can't wait. There were a lot of really cool figures. And like I said, I'm not going to cover those today. We're going to cover the women's figures, but I might make a video just covering all of them just so everyone could see them. But I made this slideshow, so I wanted to make it quick. Wanted to kind of get y'all's opinions on it. So let's start off. Let's get me minimized here. All right, let's do full screen. I don't think anyone wants to see. Oh, look at that. Look at me down there. Look at me down there. This is cool. The Bushwhackers. Yeah, the Bushwhackers is doink. That is something I don't think anybody needed, to be honest. All right, so we got Elite 109 Bayley. Now, this is a big deal because it took them so freaking long to make a damage control Bayley. It confused me. I thought maybe they had an ultimate in store for us where she's wearing the SummerSlam attire that she wore when damage control was formed. I was there, but for some reason or another, and I don't understand, it's almost been 2 years since damage control debuted at SummerSlam, and we're just now getting a damage control Bayley. Bayley is going for the title at Mania. So why did it take Mattel so long for us to get a damage control Bayley? We got a Dakota and we got an EO before Bayley. That's wrong. That I don't understand. I would love to do a Q&A with Mattel and just ask them, like, what's the reasoning behind Bayley coming out last when she's the leader of the group? And on top of that, it's just one Bayley. I was thinking, oh, maybe they'll release an Elite and also an Ultimate Edition. But this Bayley looks great. Here's some MOC images here. I love how she's packaged with a thumbs up. Now, we do get a soft goods t-shirt. And here's some better views. This figure looks really, really cool. Now, I am a huge fan of Bayley. Love her figures, and it's something that is special to me because her Elite Series 80, when I got that figure, I used to do overnight shipping, and I was the first one to get images of the figure out into the public because Ringside didn't even post pictures of it. So Bayley is forever special to me in my heart, and I'm always going to get multiple of her figures. Now, I am super excited for this Bayley to come out. It looks awesome. I love the soft goods t-shirt. I love the face sculpt, which looks very similar to what we've gotten before, but it looks a little different. So I'll wait till I judge it till I have it in hand. But the hair sculpt looks awesome. I love the thumbs down that it comes with. Great head scan on Bayley, says Jacob. Let's see. Can I pin these? Hey, look at this, guys. Very good. Very good. Yeah, always save the best for last, I guess. You know, it doesn't even make sense. So, yeah, these images look great. Really cool. I'm super excited for this. All right, now here's without that soft goods t-shirt on. As you can see, we got the double jointed elbows. We have that attire. It's got those straps sculpted on, and this figure looks amazing. However, I don't think I can zoom in, but if you look at the freaking feet and the ankles, we don't have elite articulation in the feet and ankles. From what I can see, it just looks like the single hinge joint that just allows for one direction of movement, and that bothers me. Like the Chelsea Green Elite 108, as an example, has elite style feet that can not only go down and up, but they can also rock side to side. And that allows for more dynamic posing and stability. Whereas here we just have that single pin joint, and that's a bit of a headache. Jacob says, yeah, we need a new Kairi Sane, and when it comes out, it's going to be fantastic. I cannot wait. It's probably going to be a little while. So Bayley here looks amazing. Definitely my most anticipated figure of the year that we know about, at least, because this one looks absolutely fantastic. And this is Elite 109. It should be in stock in Ringside very, very soon. All right, so here's that image where it has the figure out of the package next to that soft goods t-shirt, also the extra hands that we get. And it looks really, really cool. I think it looks great. Looks fantastic. I have nothing bad to say about this figure. Now, I don't know how many slides I have. I don't have that many. Okay. Now, here's some images that were taken at WWE World here. So, Elite 109 Bayley on display looks amazing. Now, hey, who was asking about the Sandman earlier? Because you can see Sandman in the background there. Very interesting. Very cool for the ECW fans. You know, if they're fans of what Hardcore Hack and WCW, they're definitely probably going to be picking up that figure. So, yeah, this Bayley looks awesome. Moving on to, I'd say, a controversial figure of today's releases, and that's Rhea Ripley. And I would love to get y'all's opinions on this face sculpt and scan. I don't mind it. I don't think it's terrible. I think the figure itself looks really cool, although how she's positioned, I can't tell if the legs are way too skinny, like the 3D art render that they showed. The legs were really too skinny, which is a problem that we've had on a lot of her basics and even some of her elites in the past. So I'm hoping that the legs are a little beefier, a little more muscular, but the rest of the sculpting on this figure looks fantastic. And I don't know why, but a lot of people, I saw comments talking about they were unhappy with the face sculpt in scan, but to me, I think it looks good, y'all. What do y'all think about the face? Yeah, I definitely think it's better than the last fig, Jacob said. And honestly, that last Elite was missing something for me. That last Rhea Elite, I don't know what it was, but it was missing something. And this seems like a true form Elite Rhea Ripley that gives her justice, right? I thought the face looks good too, Just Dance. So it's not just us. It might just be us and the rest of the world doesn't like the face scan sculpt, but a lot of people are disappointed. So I'd be interested to hear some of those opinions of the people that weren't a fan of it and see where they're coming from. But I think it looks great. I think it's going to be an awesome figure. Definitely can't wait to review it. And it looks like we have that title belt. Hopefully it's that smaller size SmackDown title belt that also has customizable side plates. Sometimes they waver back and forth from going to the old large men's size SmackDown Women's Championship and then the smaller one. So hopefully that's the smaller one. All right, now here's one that kind of snuck under the radar, I guess you could say. It's a figure that you blink through the reveals and you miss it. And it is, I don't have the little star over in the right side because I don't know what basic series it is from, but it's an upcoming main event, I should say, main event series, Rhea Ripley. And I like it, y'all. I like it. I like when the basic figures are these women's wrestlers in street gear. I think that's the best way to represent these women's figures in basic form, because a lot of the women have very extravagant, very detailed attire. And as we'll see later with Kayden and Katana, I feel like in basic form, you can't really do their attire justice without it looking cheap, right? So I like, and that's something I thought about in the past, is I wish that the elite line would be the women in their wrestling attire, and the basic or the main event line now would be street gear or promo attire. I think it would be more fitting. And I'll be honest with you, I am actually a big fan of this basic. It looks like this main event, I keep wanting to say basic, this main event or basic Rhea actually comes with the SmackDown Women's Championship, which I think is cool. I love the attire, and it looks like the legs aren't the same skinny legs that we have gotten time after time on Rhea's basics. It's hard to tell. This is the one and only picture that I got of the figure that I saw today. So we might get more images tomorrow. And if we get more images tomorrow, let me know in the comments if you want to go live with me again, or if you want me to make a long form pre-recorded video. I just really like to talk to y'all one-on-one and talk to all the residents of LumberJillville. So let me know if you'd want to go live as soon as more images are posted. So yeah, I'm actually really excited for this basic, and this is a basic I'll be ordering multiple of because it looks cool. And we'll talk about basics at the end of this, because that's another topic of controversy, which is what's going on with the women's basics on ringsidecollectibles.com. They've jumped up in price, and they go out of sale within the first 10 minutes, right? And my theory is that Ringside Collectibles is short ordering the women's figures because maybe they don't sell as well as some other figures. And because they're so little quantity, not only do they sell out fast, but they're higher priced, because whenever Ringside has a smaller quantity of a figure, it goes up in price. I think the outsiders, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, that those two ultimates, I think their price skyrocketed because there's not many left, right? So they need to do something about that. We need to start some kind of movement, some kind of LumberJillville movement that tries to get them to order more women's basics, because a lot of folks are missing out on these spectacular women's basics. And this started all the way back, I want to say, with Xia Li. I think that was basic 136. I believe that's when the short ordering started, maybe even before that with Nikki Ash, ASH. But yeah, that needs to change, because I check Ringside multiple times a day because I don't want to miss out. And I don't want to miss out on this Rhea, because to be honest with you, I'm really excited for this Rhea. I think it looks fantastic, but Ringside needs to figure something out. I don't know who to talk to about that, but I would love to just find out why. Why are these women's basics the same price as elites? And why are they selling out so quick? I have my theories, but I don't know any solid answers. But either way, it's screwing over us women's wrestling figure collectors that really want to get these figures, because the only way to get them is on the secondary market a lot of times for so much more money, and that's just not right. So I love this Rhea, actually, believe it or not. So I'm excited. All right, so let's talk about, I should have put main event series. I put basic, basic 138 Kayden and basic 137 Katana. Now, I do have my logo blocking Katana's head, so maybe I can take that off here. Let's try to remove that. Okay, there we go. So the Kayden and Katana, the attire came out looking freaking great because it's metallic. It's got that shine to it. And as I mentioned earlier in this video, I honestly don't think they can make women's wrestling figures in the basic or main event line and have them be high quality, because the attire on the women's wrestling attire a lot of times is very intricate, very unique, and they just can't do that in the main event or the basic line. But here, I think they did a pretty good job. I would have rather had these two in elite form, especially with how agile and how athletic they are. You can't pose these in very athletic forms, right? So I'm going to be honest, the Kayden looks spectacular. It looks just like those images we saw. It looks amazing. I'm a huge fan of Kayden. You can probably see behind me. Probably not, but behind me I have my card collection, and Kayden Carter is one of the wrestlers that I collect, that I personally collect. I've been a fan of her since NXT, and same thing with Katana Chance. Now this image, it might be a little out of whack because it looks like the Katana is hunched over a little bit, but there's no way that Kayden should be towering over Katana. If I review these figures and Kayden is towering over Katana, that is going to be a huge issue. They're both very, very, they're short in stature, smaller in size. And if Kayden is towering over Katana by a head, oh boy, that's going to be a big issue, especially because if you display these figures, you're not going to display one without the other. You're going to display them together. And if Kayden is that much taller than Katana, it's going to ruin the aesthetics of displaying them together. We might have to wait until I have that Kayden in hand because Katana is coming first, and I will be reviewing her first in LumberJillville. But whenever Kayden comes, like, I really hope that they're closer in size. I really do. But yeah, I think they both look great. Let me put this logo back up and let me go back to chat. What do y'all think? Looks great. I agree with you there. Good figs. These basics look nice. Yeah, I think the Kayden looks spectacular. I will be honest, the images that I saw of Katana, I don't like them. I think it looks pretty bad, to be honest with you. I think the face is a little off, although it looks a lot better here than in those 3D renders. But I think they made a really dumb choice with the body sculpt. I think that they could have used that really, really, really petite body sculpt that they just previously used on that Championship Showdown 2-pack Liv Morgan. That is like tailor-made for Katana, and they went a different route. So I don't really understand why they chose what they chose for Katana, but yeah, I think the Kayden looks like a freaking 10 out of 10. Hello, Jonathan. What is up? I think, hello, what's up, Gold Beast? Gold Beast is an OG. They've been around. They've been a resident of LumberJillville since probably the very beginning. So big shout out. But yeah, so these two look cool. But like I said, I'm concerned about the Katana, not only how it's going to look in hand, but how it's going to look displayed to Kayden if it's a lot shorter. It's going to look really, really stupid. Oh, my cat's about to jump on my lap. And then this is the only image they showed of that LWO Elite 5-pack from Mattel Creations of Zelina. This Zelina, y'all, I think this is going to be hard to beat for the women's wrestling figure of the year. Now, I honestly think that Chelsea Green is my personal favorite of the year. I know Asuka is more than likely my favorite, or it's probably the best women's wrestling figure that I've reviewed in all of 2024 so far. I think it's a spectacular figure, but I feel like what embodies, what encompasses women's wrestling, that Chelsea Green is just super cool, y'all. So if you don't have that one, make sure to watch the review on my channel. I just posted it a day or two ago. I don't even know what today is, y'all. So make sure to check that out on the channel. If you haven't, make sure and let me know in the comments what you think of that figure. But this Zelina looks like it's going to be on par, and it looks awesome. What sucks about this Zelina is the face that, or the fact that you can only get it in this 5-pack. So I ordered this 5-pack. I plan on selling all of them, maybe keeping Joaquin Wilde. I was a fan of him in Impact as DJZ, but I'll probably sell the others, and that's disappointing because I want multiples of the Zelina, and I'm just not going to be getting multiples of the Zelina because I'm not going to order multiple of the 5-pack. But that Zelina looks spectacular, y'all. All right. Hey, this is the main event, y'all. Listen, this figures got me so freaking excited. Trish Stratus. I believe this is her look from Money in the Bank 2023. I believe Money in the Bank 2023. It looks awesome. It looks awesome. Now, I am going to say, let's do this. I did a close-up on the face. It's hard to tell with that hat on, with the shade kind of going in the face of the hat, if there's something off with the face sculpt and scan. But after what we saw with Elite 88, the all-time, oh, here's Luke. Look, here's my cat. What is up, Lukey? You're live. You're live, homie. But I think it's a huge improvement. I think that they've nailed her look in the past, which is what's confusing as to why they don't use those sculpts and scans. However, this is simulating a 2023 Trish, so I'm okay with the new sculpt and scan. I just don't know how good it is with that hat on. I'll wait to see it in hand and maybe some additional images, but I had a close-up of this face so that we could kind of discuss it because I can't tell. Okay, a lot of people are saying, like Kev's an OG, been in LumberJillville resident for a long time. Little bit off Gold Beast a little bit off. I think so too, but I am going to wait to see more images or until I have it in hand or until they released photos of her without the hat, because either way, it's better than Elite 88. And look at this. Not only does the ring attire look really, really cool, but look at that jacket. Look at the jacket. Look at the hat. Yeah, this figure, I think it might be Elite 111. I put Elite 111 out there. I don't know if that's for sure. I think there was a leaked lineup that had Trish in it, and it was Elite 111. So this is one of those figures I'm going to pre-order at least 4. I do that every now and then, right? I did that with Dakota Kai in the past, with EO, with this Bayley coming out, and I'm going to do that with this Trish because this Trish looks spectacular. And like I said, don't know how the face looks when you take the hat off, but the fact that it is a new sculpt and scan to kind of simulate a 2023 Trish, I'm pretty excited for it. And yeah, I think this is the star of the day as far as the women's figure reveals. And then on the left here, this is the only image we got on Ringside Collectibles of the Alundra Blayze that's coming in that retro 4-pack. Now it is the same body sculpt we got on China, same body sculpt we got on Wendy, but Alundra is very, very deserving of a retro style figure, and I think that's really cool. And I know they've reused the same body, and I was okay with that when they did that with China because it's like, that's what the Hasbros did. But at this point, after this one, I think they need to give us a second female body that they can use on additional female retros. Now, what would be cool is a manager type body sculpt that they could use for Sherry. They could use for Elizabeth. I think that would be really, really cool. And yeah, hopefully that's something we get. But I think Alundra, she fits right in this line. She fits right in the retro line. I think her, Wendy, and China are the 3 best options for the first 3 women's retros. But I do think there's a glaring omission with Sensational Sherry, Sherry Martel, and Miss Elizabeth. But I'm being very, very patient because in due time, I think they will make them because they fit right in this line. Look, oh my gosh, look at this. I'm going back to my old logo. Y'all, I just went back in time for a second there. It's embarrassing. So, yeah, Jacob says not into the retros. I kind of get that with the residents of LumberJillville because my retro videos that I've posted haven't exactly done too well. I don't know. It's probably because this line hasn't had females in it since its inception, right? The first official female was that Wendy Richter, and it took them a long time to actually include a female in this line. So I understand that a lot of women's wrestling figure collectors like myself have kind of wrote this line off. I've always been very infatuated with the Hasbros. I think they're so cool in their art style. And I grew up with the Treasurer, and we'd play with his Hasbros, and I have fond memories with that. But there were never any women. So I kind of lost interest over the years. And the more that I grew into my interest of the women's wrestling figures, they just didn't have any women. So I lost interest. But it's cool that we're getting female retros. This one looks great. Like I said, hopefully this is the last time we get this body sculpt, at least for a little while, and we get a new sculpt. I love one that portrays Wendy and portrays China. I'm sorry, Miss Elizabeth. Jacob says they aren't just as fun as posable figures. Yeah, and I can definitely agree with that. And I have to tell you, you know what's absolutely zero fun to Mayor Aaron is when I reviewed that Cella Toys Bull Nakano. That Cella Toys Bull Nakano, not only was it not very good quality, it was like a Happy Meal toy, it didn't have an action feature. At least this Alundra, the China, the Wendy, they have action features. So you can kind of like play around and have it do some cool things. That, oh my gosh, that Bull Nakano was the absolute drizzling doo-doos, okay? It was the worst thing I have ever reviewed. I sold it a long time ago. And speaking of Bull Nakano, where is a Bull Nakano Elite? She's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. How amazing would that be if we got a Bull Nakano Elite? That would be super cool. So yeah, great face scan on Alundra. Very, very cool. And then that's it. That is it. So, okay, so we got Alexa's Google series, Cortana's in Bixby's A World says, come on, Mattel, release Maxine. You know, I know there's a lot of controversy, I guess, with Maxine. But the one thing all I'm going to say about her is she's very toyetic, and I think her figure would sell really, really well. So I did put that in my most wanted figures of 2024. I would love to see a Maxine Elite. I don't want her in basic form. I want her in elite form because she does have really cool attire, very unique. And I want them to kind of do what, oh, this sounds bad, what Jazzwares and AEW does. Oh, sorry I said that. Jazzwares and AEW has been a big disappointment, but each one of their women's figures, each and every one, it's almost like it was sculpted all to represent that particular woman in general. Sometimes Mattel will make a women's figure and be like, okay, well, we can use those arms later. We can use that midsection later. But I want them to start to have more unique to the superstar sculpts and molds as far as Mattel goes. And maybe that would slow down production. And I'm sure there's reasons why, but that's definitely something I would like to see with Mattel. However, I would rather have them do what they're doing and release the quality figures they're doing than be like Jazzwares and just release nothing. Just release absolutely nothing, right? So now before I head out, I would love to answer some questions. I'd love to hear what y'all think about today's reveals, and I also want to show you something cool. Hold on a sec. All right, so anyone that has followed the social media of LumberJillville knows that friend of the channel, went to the same high school, Brianna Brandy, BFAB, has signed her figure and sent it to me in a beautiful red pen to Mayor Aaron of LumberJillville, BFAB. This is a prized piece of my collection. I absolutely love it, and I just wanted to show y'all before I post pictures of it online. But yeah, I freaking love that. Okay, so here's a very good question. Okay, Gold B, so I don't. I mean, they've done that before where they show figures that have been out. There were other figures that they showed that we've had for a while. Yeah, that Live Championship Showdown 2-pack that they displayed. I don't know why they showed that. It's been out for a while, but that Live is actually spectacular. You know, I wish more people would talk about that Live because it's actually really, really cool. And that's the body sculpt that Katana should have been sculpted in. But I have no idea why they showed that Live. It's been out for a while, right? I know why they didn't show the Ronda. You know what I'm saying? You know why they didn't show the Ronda, y'all? You know why they didn't show the Ronda? I have a few reasons of why they didn't show the Ronda. And it's right here inside these pages. I haven't even read this yet. I'm actually reading Becky Lynch's book. It's over there. Really good book. And I'm not much of a reader, believe it or not. But yeah, there was also, I'm trying to think of some of the other older figures that they showed off. That was really, really confusing and made me question, like, why are they showing? So, yeah. Any other questions? That was a good question. I feel like a teacher. It was a very good question. Very good. Anyone else have any questions, or do you want to see anything? Do you want me to show anything before I head off? I'm going to try to keep this around 30 minutes or so. Book hurt people. Yeah, I need to read. I'm excited to read the Ronda book. You know, I've always been very grateful and thankful for what she brought to women's wrestling in the WWE, because at the end of the day, y'all, I mean, they wouldn't have had an Evolution pay-per-view if Ronda wasn't there. I honestly think that, you know, so yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Oh, Lita Basic. Yeah, you know what? I think I did hear that. I did hear that Alita Basic was in the works. You know, I've seen the leak lineups. I'm sure everyone's here has seen them. And I think I did see Alita Basic, but I'm not real excited about that. You know, I'd rather see some NXT women represented. Like, where the frick is Zoe Stark? Where the frick is Zoe Stark? Where is she? Where is Zoe Stark? Jacob, we need more Litas. Hey, I'm not a huge fan of Lita, to be honest. I definitely think she's awesome. I think she contributed a lot. But I don't really know what Lita I would absolutely need. You know what I mean? I love that they did a modern Trish. I can't tell you enough about that figure. My goodness. Luca's lurking back there. The women's matches at WrestleMania, I'm excited. I'm glad that Naomi, Bianca, and Jade. Oh, hey. Okay. Yes. Yes, we do. And let me tell you, I am a big Wendy Choo fan. I have a bunch of her cards, and I'm going to show you a screenshot. I should probably just show it. Oh, well. Well, I'm going to show you this. Okay, I'm going to show y'all. I don't even know if this will show up. This is going to be embarrassing if it doesn't. So I hit this Valentina Feroz gold 10 out of 10 card. Look how beautiful that card is. I'm a huge fan of hers, right? WWE impeccable. Now, as far as Wendy Choo goes, we have, look how cool this card is. Gold. 10 out of 10 gold. So, pretty awesome. Now, I just got tagged in a stream here. Okay. Sorry, I got a little distracted. But yeah, so I think we need a Wendy Choo figure. I'm a huge fan of Wendy Choo. Big fan. And I mean, I know she's been dealing with injuries, and if you follow her on Instagram, she hasn't really posted much in a while. So hopefully she's okay. Hopefully she's doing good. But I cannot wait for her return. I should have worn my Wendy Choo shirt tonight. I got a True Crew Wendy Choo shirt. But yeah, I think that's my most wanted figure is a Wendy Choo figure. An elite figure. If we get a basic, that's okay for now. But I want a Wendy Choo figure. So I agree. Yeah, Valentina hasn't really been around much. But she's prevalent on social media. She actually commented on my Instagram post where I posted that card. And hopefully she is back soon. So, yeah. So, any other questions before I head out? Sorry, I got distracted. I got tagged in something and I was making sure it wasn't like, yeah, I'm excited for Wendy to come back. But I'm going to have, once I get that card in hand, just a beautiful card. I cannot wait to put it in a case. I mean, look how cool that is. It's such a cool card. Out of 10 gold. So cool. Love it. All right. So Yulisa has been wrestling now. From what I understand, I think she requested her release when her contract expired. And that makes sense. I was mad when she was released because I think her and Valentina as a team are special. They are amazing. If you watch their matches together as a team, they're awesome. So I was real disappointed, but it sounds like she asked for her release, I think. And she's been wrestling in Mexico. And yeah, I follow her. She's doing awesome things. She's so talented. Let's see here. Yeah, I say why not? The more women's time, the better. But I'm going to be honest with you. I honestly think that this unpopular opinion, don't jump on me. I think this Bloodline story, Cody story, I just think they need to wrap it up. Have Cody finish up that story because it takes up so much TV time on a weekly basis. And if you're there to support the women, to see what's going on with the women's division, there's just so much attention and focus around the Bloodline and the folks involved in the Bloodline and The Rock. And I'm over it. I've been over it for years, honestly. But I think they need to get that storyline finished and done with and move on from it to actually spend time on some meaningful women's storylines, because I think they've put all their eggs in one basket. And I think it's going to be tremendous, whatever happens with Cody and The Rock and the Bloodline and Seth. I think it's going to be really, really cool, but I just want it to be done. I think it's going to be awesome at Mania, and I hope they end it there, because I think it takes up so much time, so much press, so much talk that Kev called it. It's overstayed the welcome. And hey, Keith, how you doing? What's up? Hey, my unpopular opinion is with all the Bloodline stuff over the years, all the little intricate storylines between the Usos, Sami Zayn, I think Roman has been the least interesting of all of them. Roman as a whole. He's not that good. No idea. Should be interesting. Should be interesting. But they could be. I'll take maybe one more question. And then this boy has got to bounce. But like I said, if they release more images tomorrow, I will love to jump back on here and go over those with you if y'all are down with that. But I think I'm going to head out now. Seems like a good time. We're losing people by the second. But feel free to watch us over. Let me know in the comments your favorite reveal of today and why it's Trish. I'm just kidding. That Trish, though, I'm so excited for that Trish. But yeah, I appreciate everyone that was here. It means so much to me. And stay tuned. I like doing this live. So let me know if you like this live. I think this video will be posted to the channel after it ends. Make sure to watch it over, comment. Let me know if you want me to do another live stream, and let me know your favorite. But I love each and every one of you. Y'all are awesome. Have a great night, and I will talk to you very, very soon. It's always awkward when I got it in the stream and I'm trying to look at the camera, but I'm trying to click end. Okay, here I go. Here I go. I got this. See y'all.